Yep, that's me. 5 a.m. in a torrential downpour, taking my dog out to go to the bathroom, even using an umbrella to keep her dry. And you may be wondering how I got myself into this situation. Actually, who am I kidding? You don't care about that. You care about the camera I'm using to capture this beautiful, touching moment. I have here a new product to test out. So let's take a look. Aha! It's another solar-powered security camera. What I'm really excited about with this is also 4G. Supposedly, it's solar powered, but supposedly you can put this out in the woods somewhere as long as you have a cell service. It comes with only 7 days of free service before you have to buy a subscription. But let's take a look at what we got here. User manual. Oh, this is the 300 megabyte trial plan that I was talking about. There is the solar panel. And on the back, it has a little, looks like it's a plastic piece for locking it into the stand. Here is some mounting equipment, it looks like. It's got tweezers. There's a USB-C to USB-A. Ooh, comes with a micro SD card. That's nice. Thank you for sending that. Screws. Here is the stand. I guess this would be where you put this to a tree, to a pole, something like that. Then it's got a little 1/4 thread there. So it looks like it sits like this. The antennas go up. And then you've got your little Star Wars droid looking thing. One of the things that I worry about with these cameras, and I'm curious about it with the Vizuyi, I like that camera too much. I don't want to actually test it out. But I do wonder how weatherproof it is. I wonder if you're weather resistant. You would have to be weather resistant to be out in the elements, right? Let's find somewhere to go put this, and let's put this to the test. So what we're going to go ahead and do is put the camera on underneath and right there, and then we just screw this part in right there. And we are able to position that because the wide angle lens is fixed. It looks out. Whereas it's the zoom lens here on the bottom, that's the one that you are able to move 355 degrees either way and then able to zoom in. So we're going to position this a little bit right. Let's do it right there. Now to put the solar panel on, you get this little piece right here. It's got a little bit of a groove on it, and that matches up with the bottom part of the solar panel, and they'll go together. So they go together like that, and then they close together just like that. And then this little piece here goes on top, and we'll be able to reposition this how we see fit. That there. So it's got a little latch on the back here where you unplug and you turn it on power, and then we pull down this little rubber grommet here. It's got a little latch as well, and we just plug that in. Perfect. There we go. Reposition that so that it's ready to go. Perfect. All right, we'll put those up. We'll set that there. All right. We've got some lights blinking, so it looks like we're doing pretty good. All that's left as far as installation goes now is to put the micro SD card in as well as the SIM card in. And this kit actually came with both. So they go down here on the bottom. Get those open. There we go. And before I was wondering why they sent tweezers, but now I see that the tweezers help you get the SIM card in and out. There we go. SIM card's in. Put this back, this rubber piece back in so that it's all protected from the weather. And now we're ready to go. So I was able to use the camera for 7 days because that's how much time was on the SIM card that was provided. They give you 7 days free right off the bat, so I really like that. But here are some of my other thoughts around the camera. Let's start with the good. First, I love that you can place this camera just about anywhere. As long as you have a strong 4G signal as well as access to enough daylight for the solar panel, you're going to be able to place this on a large piece of property. You can place this out in the woods. You can do what I did and put it literally right in your backyard. There's almost no limit to where you can place this as long as you can mount it with the screws, and again, as long as you have that access to 4G and plenty of sunlight. Speaking of that install, it was super easy to install this camera, from having just 3 screws to put the plate onto a tree trunk, a wall, a fence, wherever you're putting it, to how all the pieces fit together the way they're supposed to, and then how easy the app was to set up. It is a super simple system to get up and running really relatively quickly. Let's jump a little bit into the app, and unfortunately I don't really have any like screenshots of the app because when the 4G runs out, it doesn't really work. You can see how the app looks, but you can't get in there and tweak things like I would like to. So one of the things that I like that some of the other cameras I've tested didn't have is you can set the recording length. You can go 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, or continual recording from the time that it catches the motion. And I will note on that last one, the continual recording is that really drains the battery a lot more. So, you know, when it's just 5 seconds on, off, 10 seconds on, off, whatever it may be, it's a lot easier for that battery to not be drained. And also, it's a lot easier for that micro SD card to not get full. Speaking of the recordings, you're able to record either to the cloud, to the micro SD card, or to your phone. And what that is if you buy the cloud app, you'll be able to upload to the cloud, have it wherever you need to. If you want it to just go to the micro SD card, it already does that, so you'll be able to pop that out. Something I will say, they provided a 64 gig card, and that's more than enough. Because when I popped that out after 7 days, I was looking at it in the app and I was like, surely this thing's not recording. It says that I have almost 63 gigs left, and it's that good of recording. It really does 5 seconds or 20 seconds, whatever you set it up. And then maybe the resolution isn't the best, and we'll get to that here in a second. But I do love that you're able to it automatically records to the micro SD card or the cloud if you have that set up, or you can manually say, you can go in the app and go, I don't like the way that things are looking right now. But if you're in the app and you're noticing something, you can record and it goes straight to your phone. So that's pretty handy. I also love how easy it was to use the PTZ. The camera will go the full 355 degrees. It's not 360 degrees, but it's 355 degrees left to right, tilt up and down. You can zoom in and out using the app. So really easy to use. I will say there's obviously latency. You're not going to have the second you go left, it's not automatically going to go and stop. There is, a little bit of a lag. So you got to get used to that, but it's super easy to get it pointed the direction you want to. And now the really big selling point for me, aside from being able to place it just about anywhere, is that you can place it just about anywhere and not worry about the weather. We had 3 days of just absolute torrential downpours here in Georgia from Saturday, Sunday through Monday. At times it was super heavy. Other times it was just kind of like hanging around misty. And that camera withstood it all. You'll see some recordings here where the rain actually set off the motion detector because that's how heavy the rain was. But it withstood all of that torrential downpour. It was great. Everything was dry. No problems with the micro SD card or the SIM card after that. And you can adjust that sensitivity. Even though the torrential downpour set it off a couple times, the squirrels were always setting it off. You can set that. I changed it to medium. You can go to light. You can go to heavy. Whatever you're kind of feeling, however you feel will keep you safe or will allow you to see what it is that you're trying to capture. So now for the two things that I really wasn't the biggest fan of. Number one is it's only a 4G camera. You can't hook it up to a Wi-Fi signal if you choose. So like for me, I would love to have it on 4G, and if I'm feeling cheap like I currently am, I don't want to have to buy 4G service for it, even though it's like $14 a month, something like that. And then, obviously you can do 3 months and it goes down to like $10 a month, however it is. But, I want there to be an option for me to switch it over to Wi-Fi if that's how I so choose. But this particular camera does not have that, so kind of a bummer there. But then the other thing that I really wasn't a fan of is you see that it's stacked recording. It really does this big square, and it records both cameras simultaneously. I love the sync. I love being able to go, okay, here's everything in the wide angle, here's how it looked in the zoom, but I want them separated like my dash camera in my truck does, where I get a front and a rear view. I want to be able to choose if I want the full 1080p, 1920 by 1080, whatever it ends up being, of the zoom camera, and I want the same on the wide angle. I want them to still be synced the way they are, but I want those to be that I can then single them out, so that if I don't need the wide angle, I can just go get the full resolution of the zoom. Same thing, vice versa. If I don't want the zoom and I just want to see the wide angle, I want that. So I didn't really like that stacked recording. I was hoping to find a way where you could, do away with that, but I couldn't find it in that amount of time. So, and looking through the manual, I don't think you can. So that's probably my biggest actual hang up right there, is no side-by-side recording, just stacked recording. But anyways, it's now coming in at a great price. It is actually $100 off right now. That's 40% off. So it's normally $250. Right now you can get it on Amazon for $150 if that is something you're interested in. If so, I will drop a link down in my bio. Feel free to check it out. But again, if you're looking more for a Wi-Fi camera, this one's probably not the way to go, because then you're paying the $14 a month, the $10 a month, whatever kind of cellular 4G plan you go with. You got to kind of take that into consideration. But as always, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider hitting that like button. I greatly appreciate it, and I will catch you in another video.